Hi, today it is mid-November and I've got to go and get some cuttings of my purple heart plant so that I can winter it over this year or I won't have any for next year. It does make a pretty house plant, but it's hard to get enough light unless you have a special grow light or something like that. But I just love this outside in the summertime. This year I had planted it as an understory plant with some shrubs that I got to put in a big giant pot, but it completely took over the pot. As you can see, it just got bigger and bigger over the year and trailed all the way down to the ground. But I want to get this because I'm going to plant it out into the side beds. This year it was pretty going on each side of the French doors coming out from the patio, but I want to make sure and I have something to winter over. Sure, I could buy one next spring, but who knows if I would find one. And it's so gorgeous out there in the fall now, I've got to go get some. So here we go. Okay, the leaves are falling outside. Temperatures are getting farther and farther down. And I know if I don't harvest some of my purple heart, that I won't have any next year unless I buy some. Believe it or not, this huge bunch is in a large pot that I meant for a shrub. I saved a couple of tiny little sprouts that were so bedraggled in the springtime. I didn't think they'd survive, so I put them as an understory plant for the shrubs. But you can see what happened. So now, before they are killed by the frost, which is coming any day now, I want to snip these off and overwinter them. You can snip the ends and put them in water. Just get something that is a node, this spot right here, under a node, and roots will grow out there very, very easily. And that might be a pathetic little plant in your home or a pretty plant, just depending on how much light you give it and how much attention. These are still blooming right here closest to the house. They haven't gotten all frosted yet. Aren't they pretty? Look how pretty that is. Very, very nice plant. So I want to snip some of these and put them in the house. But I have two, one on each side of the door here. This one has gotten a little bedraggled as we use the blower to blow leaves. But everything looks really good. Those are about a 10-15 gallon pot with a huge shrub in it. I'm going to have to find a shrub, perhaps next spring, a place in the landscape. Not sure where that's going to be, but I've got two, one here and one there, to decide where they're going to go. But meanwhile, we're going to snip some of these off. You can see where the flower has died. And I will put them in soapy water to clean them off because we don't need any varmints to come in the house. But don't they look good? It's really, really good. And I will take that in soon. Let me get a close-up view. This is a piece that got broken off. But you can see where the nodes are. Each of those little joints will grow roots. So I would just pick off a little area. Of course, not of this one. He's a discard. But they grow like a little, I don't know what you'd call that, a little swoop. And each of those little ends has a flower in it. Real pretty plant. Very purple, very pretty against shrubbery. But anyway, that's what we're going to try. So I'm going to go get some snips, and we will snip off a few. Got some water, and then I'm going to use just baby wash, baby shampoo, because it's gentle, but not too gentle on the varmints. So I'll just put a teaspoon in this. There, that should be enough. And then just let that mix in there. And we're going to throw our cuttings in it and let them sit for several hours before we put them just separately into the rooting medium, because I don't want there to be any bugs. Now, let's go get some plants. All right, now I've got them inside, and what I'm going to do is I'll probably get a little bit bigger bowl. I hope you can see them. Think about being a black sink. But let me get a bigger bowl, and we'll get more water and a little more soap. But let me get this. Now that makes more sense. Look at that. We'll just clean those. Let them soak for a little bit. I can just softly smell the baby soap. All right. There we go. Here we go. Now you can see that if there's anything down in there, that should scare them out. But each of these little tips should grow for me. And I'll give them a good rinse, and then we'll put them in a little water and watch for the sprouts. Okay, we've got all of ours here, and I collected these three. I've got three more. Small, little, I guess, forcing a bulb vase, and then this half of a fish tank type vase. So basically, I'm just going to pull them off and set them down in. I guess I'll start with that side. I'll pull that off. That'll be a spot for roots. as long as that node is underwater. And this one, I'll pull that bottom. I guess I'll pull that off too. Stick it in here. There. So that's 3. And we'll just put those back right there for now. And then we'll just get a cluster for this one. So here we go. How about you? That is kind of close, sorry. And I'll pull you off. Now let's stick, there's one, there's one, there's one, and there's one. And now let's see what we can get in the big one. Go. That one yanked off all by itself. We got a good spot right there. This one, roots will grow there, and roots will grow there. So here we go. And here's the last one. Here's just one long stalk. Stick him down right there. Now, it looks like all the tips are touching right there. That looks, I might fill that just a little bit more. So here we go. Now that will get everything in the water. I think he's sunk too low. So let's put him, I'll put him in one of these. No, one of these. How about down in here? Okay. And I think initially we'll just set these right like this. And I will keep an eye on them. I think they look good. So we'll just wait for the roots and then plant them up and have some of these Purple Heart overwinter. Pretty colors. Look at the baby here. That little tiny one that I cut off. We're going to get a bottle for him. Look how hard he tried to come inside. I got a bottle for him. Look at this. Made for him or her. There she is. We'll just barely let her touch the water. There you go. You make a root, honey, and you've earned a spot.